Welcome to Unfrazzle, a podcast for solo business owners with a big vision who are ready for a kinder, more sustainable approach to productivity. I'm Louise Miller, and each week I share bite-sized insights to help you step away from the hustle, stop faffing and stay focused so you can make your brilliant ideas happen and make a bigger impact in the world. So grab yourself a cuppa and let's get started. I'd been feeling out of whack for a few weeks, but I hadn't quite put my finger on why until I had an aha moment in the shower, as you do. And what I realised was that it was time to review and to rethink my rhythm. So when it comes to productivity, I know that I am and I always will be a work in progress. What worked for me 6 months ago may not be quite right anymore. And so when I'm starting to feel that, I recalibrate. And first of all, I identify the problem or the problems that I'm trying to solve. So just as an example of what I mean, one of my goals right now is to grow my audience. And to do that, I need to reach out to podcast hosts or to people with a community who might benefit from hearing about my approach to productivity. And I have been doing that over the years, sporadically. I know what I should be doing. I just haven't been doing it consistently. And that has been playing on my mind, and it's something that I really want to change. So in reviewing and rethinking my rhythm, I have taken some time to consider all of the things that need to happen regularly in my business. So I call those things the rhythm of my business, right? For me, it's things like recording this podcast, emailing my mailing list, showing up on LinkedIn, those sorts of things. And I've made sure that I'm really clear about exactly what I want to do in each of those areas. And then I've started to think about roughly when I'm going to do those things, thinking about what I want my weeks to look like, making sure I've got space for that outreach that I mentioned earlier. So I am being proactive about getting those opportunities to share my message with other people that don't get to know who I am. So there are so many different ways to play with this, but the most important thing I want you to remember if you're starting to revisit and rethink your rhythm is that it's an experiment. It's about landing on something that you think feels good and then seeing what happens when you start putting it into practice. And I would also add there, keeping it as simple as you can. Sometimes we can overcomplicate these things, somehow thinking that's going to make it easier, when actually the simpler these things are, often the easier they are to follow. So, now I've gone through this process, I've created a new rhythm for myself that I'm going to experiment with over the next few months. And I am not a productivity robot, and I know I won't be perfect, but that doesn't mean I'm going to let myself off the hook or give up if things don't immediately fall into place. The commitment I'm making is to give it my best during this current quarter, and then I can evaluate how things went and see if I need to change anything. Because the one thing that I can guarantee is that I will always be a work in progress, right? The rhythm that I'm playing with right now is not going to be perfect, and it won't be the way that I'm going to do things forever. We evolve and our businesses evolve. And accepting that you are a work in progress can actually be really liberating, because it frees you up from the never-ending quest for that single solution to all of your problems. It's far better to experiment with what feels good right now, knowing that you're free to review and recalibrate a few months down the line. So how about you? Is your rhythm working for you right now? I encourage you to have a think about that. Think about what it is you're trying to accomplish in your business, and then check in with your daily and your weekly rhythms. Are they working for you? Does anything need to shift? What could you add that will help you to meet your goals more quickly? And what could you take away if there's something that's taking up too much of your time for actually little return? Is there anything you can get help with? If things are feeling a bit out of whack for you right now, rather than lamenting the fact that things aren't working exactly as you want them to do and giving yourself a hard time about that and expecting perfection from yourself, put on your curiosity hat and embrace your work-in-progressness. And as always, I hope that this helps, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you for listening to Unfrazzle. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who needs a dose of calm productivity in their life. And I'd love it if you could leave me a rating and a review, as that will help more people discover this podcast. If you'd like to hear more from me to help you stop faffing and take back control of your time, you'll find a link to join my mailing list in the show notes, and I would really love for you to join us. So thanks so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time.